Pre-P English 9. Here's what we did today. There's a Google form in Google Classroom. Please make sure you read the directions. I've given you feedback on your narrative essay, and I want you to read the feedback before you read your score. Your score was good, but there's always pluses and minuses, things you can work on and things not. After you do that, we got out our book of Mice and Men and a pencil and put away our Chromebooks because our activity for the next 3 days, I'll change the due date. I said it was tomorrow. Watching people work, it's going to take you 3 days. Our learning goals are I can define characters and characterization and theme and explain how authors use characterization, which I'm going to give you a kind of general definition, inferred personality traits to highlight the themes in a work. So today and tomorrow's and Friday's work, I'll change the slide. I want you to read the Body Biography Project checklist. I gave you a lot of papers today. You are going to need a binder. If you haven't had one before for English, let me know. I'll order some more, but you've got to have a binder for The Hobbit or you're not going to be able to keep track of the materials for our next unit. And this is just the end. This is the end of this one. So I'll try get a binder because we're going to be putting things in order. You're supposed to have one. There should be a section for reading, one for grammar, one for writing. I'm going to set a whole special section for Hobbit. Anyway, moving on. And I had people look when they were done. Obviously, you're going to need to get the class to get this body biography project checklist. You're working with a table partner. One of you on the final project, not yet, is going to write in black and the other in blue, and I'm going to want to see an even mix. You will each color half the poster, but that will be the last thing you do. There are 4 sheets, so you're probably going to do a top half, bottom half. Left and right doesn't work. Sorry, I was not looking at the right thing. Everything must be done in class over the next couple of days, so please work on your project. You don't have time for visiting. You're going to need to dig into the book. Your coloring must be done either with crayons or colored pencils, no markers. You have to agree on the theme, but you can create your own thesis statement. The reason you have to agree on theme is that you are sharing a character, and that character is probably going to highlight one of the themes more than another one. Not today, but one of the sheets I gave you was key ideas of Mice and Men. We're going to start talking about that tomorrow afternoon, second half of class. So you get to complete your own copy of that. It's on the back side of that checklist. When we're all done with everything, you're going to tape these together onto a large post-it paper because you're going to have a picture of a person. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. And with both your full names, top right, front, and is going to go around the classroom. This was the checklist essentially, but you need to come in and get the paper. This is what it's ultimately kind of going to look like. Again, this is the digital version, but just in case you weren't here, there are boxes on your sheets that you have that you're going to be filling out about one of these characters. There are 7. So you're going to be doing something along those lines. So that was what we worked on today, mostly digging into the text and looking at what things we are doing in here. You're going to come up with, if you text evidence, if at all possible, and using the RACE format, respond to the question, answer the question, not restate the question, whatever, or restate the question, answer the question, cite some text evidence, and then explain your text evidence if at all possible. So, lengthy project, hopefully. You come in ready to go tomorrow. I will extend it to Friday. I am personally thinking that you should be done by then. So that's what we did today. Email me if you have any questions, and hopefully you are at school tomorrow if you weren't today. But here are further explanations if you need them. All right. Have a great day.